What's up, nerds? Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm so excited for today's video. As you guys saw by the title, we'll be doing my fall reading wrap-up. So basically, I made a bunch of fall TBRs. I did a fall to be reread. I did a fall Kindle Unlimited TBR. And then I did a fall physical TBR. We did a lot. And so we're going to go over all the books I read off of those lists. So these are books that you've probably seen in, for the most part, you've probably seen in like end of the monthly reading wrap-ups, but I still thought it would be fun to kind of show you what books I read off these specific TBRs. I told you that I was making these TBRs and I wanted to like stick to them because there's no point in making them just for video and not actually doing them. Some of them I really tried. Other ones were kind of like actually, did I forget to grab a book? I did. Anyway, first, if you guys like reading wrap-ups, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. Oh, I was like, I can't remember what I was going to say because I never remember what I was going to say, but I did remember that I know technically we still have a couple weeks left in fall, I think, technically, but when December hits, it's Christmas. It's officially winter, in my opinion, so I know that obviously not technically, but I don't want to talk about fall when December hits at all, and then next week we have some fun videos planned already, so I was like, I didn't want to risk not posting this video or switch out any videos because next week is gonna be fun. So stay tuned for that. So let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I technically read 9. I read 11 books out of the 20 on my physical TBR for fall. And then I unhauled 1 book. So technically 12 I don't have anymore. Well, 12 are off my TBR cart. And then we have a couple more that some of them I'm gonna read. I'm trying to read before the month is over. 1, 2. 2 of them I'm trying to read before the month is over, and then at least one of them I will be reading next month. So I'm like, these books, like it was good. It was a success if it's a success if you ask me. But I'm just gonna grab them and go because I know. So we did read Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potters. Gave this 5 stars. Incredible, of course. I've never given any of the Harry Potters less than 5 stars. This was book 6. I've not read book 7 yet, but technically only the 1 was on my fall TBR, so it's fine, it's fine. I also had Crooked Kingdom on my fall TBR. This is by Leigh Bardugo. I enjoyed this book. I like these books. I like the series. I don't love it the way everyone else did, but I did luckily read this fall season. It's like, honestly, this is a perfect time to read it, is fall, to be completely honest with you, but yeah. Then I read Dark Restraint by Katie Robert. This was also on my fall TBR. I don't know why I keep saying that because you guys, obviously that's the video, but anyway, every time I look at this book, I'm like, yeah, that was a good book. Like, it definitely surprised me. I think this one is the most, like, it felt like a almost standalone romance within the series, and so I almost like, I appreciate that. Like, I have to appreciate that, and so I don't know, it made me like this series again, because there was a point where I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And then there was a point with that book where I was also gonna like just get rid of it and not read it, but I'm glad that I read it. I'm also so glad that I read My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I love this book so much. It was just so much fun, so cute. Oh my gosh. I don't know, I said this before, but I just love the, like, when you have to explain like stuff to a character who's like, obviously he's a vampire, so he wasn't in society for a while, but also just like different things like that where they're like out of touch with society, or they don't know, or they don't speak the same language. Like, I love that. I love it so much, like having to explain like figures of speech or just why things are dumb because the American language is so interesting. So it was just super cute. I love it. The romance was super cute and the characters I loved. So 10 out of 10 recommend. I can't wait to read the next book, to be honest, but I'm gonna wait till next year because if I buy it now, it's just gonna sit on my shelf till next year because I'm definitely not going to read it not in October. I feel like that's an October book for sure. Then I still cannot believe, I'm still in shock that I actually finished this book. This is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This monstrosity, I love this book so much. We read this one in a reading vlog, so I hope you guys enjoyed that reading vlog. I want to do a part 2 to that soon, but monstrosity, read this, loved it. That was one of those books, like, I don't know, I think I have a thing with, like, endings. I don't know. That was one of those books that if it was not on a TBR, I probably wouldn't have read it because, that's a lie. I would have read it eventually, but it probably would have taken me a lot longer to read it because, I don't know, I just did not want that series to end, but I'm glad we did it. I also, shockingly enough, actually read Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. This one was one that I was not sure I was going to get a chance to read in the fall season because, I'll talk about it. There's another book that I had to read before this one, and I was like, 2 books, I don't know, this is a lot, but, anyway, I ended up finishing it, loving it. This is Kingmakers Year 1, so I just ordered Year 2. That should be coming soon because I just really enjoyed it. It's so fun. It's basically like a college for children of like mafia people, like I was gonna say like gangs, I guess, like maybe gangs, I don't know, there's like probably a better term for that. Yeah, it's a ruthless mafia university is what they call it. So freaking cool, so fun. Loved this. All the books are not going to fit up there. But then I also read Daydream by Hannah Grace. I feel like I read this like years ago. I honestly think about moments in this book quite a bit. There are a couple very cute moments. I think in general it wasn't my favorite like book of all time, and it wasn't my favorite out of the series, but I do think that there was enough that I liked about it that I would probably consider even rereading it. Like if I did a reread of the series, I wouldn't like necessarily skip this book, but it's definitely not one that I would reread like first or anything, but it was just very sweet, and I do love the characters, so read that one. Oh no, I'm getting hot. I also read, so this was the one that I had to read first, which was Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark. So luckily I finished this early enough with enough time to read the other one as well. This book was a little bit of a disappointment, not gonna lie. I think even reading like Kingmakers and like seeing that next book, it even made me even more disappointed in this because I really wanted like a good final hurrah. And just like the way Sophie Lark wrote that one is just so good, and you just love like the like it's like the chaos that I'm like, I really wish like this was really like, it makes it even worse for this one. I'm like, because there was definitely potential for this one and we dropped the ball, but I read it and so it's off my fault TBR technically. We also read The Devious Husband by Katharina Mara. This one was just literally, I knew I was going to read it, so I don't know why I like needed to put it on a TBR, but I love this book. I think about this book all the time, and I'm like, this is so incredibly written. It is so beautiful, and I love Katharina Mara. So 10 out of 10 would recommend that one. Alright, we're down to the last 2. We also read Garnet Flats by Devaney Perry. I thought this book was so fun. It was like, again, is it a favorite book or anything? Not necessarily, but definitely one that I like, you know, makes me enjoy the series so much. I love, they're all siblings, so it's just so much fun, such a good time, a small town, and it's just like, I don't know, how could you not enjoy that? I don't know. Okay, we'll get all my physical TBR on there probably. Then last but not least, for my physical TBR, we read The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. Now this one you haven't seen yet because I just read it this month, and yo, I love this book, and I'm really surprised that I have not just continued it. I thought it was so interesting, and I was not, wow, there's a TBR prompt in there. I was not expecting that. I just was not expecting it, and I thought it was super fun and fresh. Like, it just was very unique. Nothing I've read before at all, and so I appreciate that, love that. So you'll definitely stay tuned for more reviews on this one. Unless that was in a reading vlog, but I don't think it was in a reading vlog. I don't know. This is too much. So much going on. I'm also filming today's Wednesday, so this will go up tomorrow, but you'll obviously be seeing this on Thursday, which is like, normally I'm filming the weekend before because it's just easier. So when I have to like, my weekends have been insane, crazy, back to back to back, and then we have, luckily this weekend is pretty chill, and then next weekend is like Thanksgiving, the weekend of Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Like, it's just, I know it's gonna be crazy, and so whatever. So anyway, I haven't had a chance to film the past weekend, so I had to film today, and the it just becomes chaos, and I feel stressed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's okay. We're here now, and we're having fun. This is fun. Okay. So I have to like show you / I bought some physical copies, but this was from my Kindle Unlimited TBR. So you guys know Kindle Unlimited, obviously it's a subscription, so you want to get your money's worth. And so I had a couple books on there. A couple of them, one book for sure I'm gonna try to read this month. The other ones I would like to read at some point, but not all of them. But not some of them I'm like whatever. Some of them I don't know why. Like I doubt I'll read them anytime soon. Whatever. But I ended up reading Cursed of Shadows by LJ Andrews. So this is actually supposed to come, it's a series that comes before the Ever King. So obviously I was like at a like, what the heck am I gonna read a freaking, I think it's like 9-book long series and then try to read the Ever King all before the fall is over. No. So I just kind of read the first one and I wanted to kind of assess the situation, how I felt. And honestly I didn't like love the series enough to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna read all 9 books. Like, yeah, no. Not for me. So I was just like, okay, we're gonna jump to the Ever King. And honestly, I don't even know, maybe because I only read the first book, I don't even remember much overlap, so I was like, whatever, I don't care that much. So we have that one. We also read Blood of Hercules. I will be buying the paperback soon. She's just not out yet, so gotta patiently wait. I love this book so much. You guys know, though. I've talked about it nonstop. I said, not the author she posted. She was like, I can't believe, she's like, somehow I made it on the Goodreads choice. So I'm like, girl, because that book is incredible. You deserved it. So, whatever. So those were, I don't know if I told you, I read 4 out of the 10 books, so not even 50%. But one of them, Broken by Daylight, I have not read yet, but it's on my TBR for November, so I'm going to try to finish that ASAP Rocky. Anyway, so then I bought 2 physical copies. So I bought Unwanted by Mia Sheridan, so I put this on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Then I ended up buying the paperback before I even read it because it just felt like a book that you want to hold in your hands, and sure enough it was. It is incredible. I love this book so much. This is another one where like she kind of has to like explain to him like figures of speech and just like it's so cute. So cute. I love him. He just doesn't understand a lot of things, and I love it so much. And so I could squeeze him. I saw someone the other day though, she was like, I'm about to DNF, and I'm like, you have no taste then. Okay, because this book is incredible. 10 out of 10. I've always wanted to do one of those videos where it's like books I'll take no criticism on, but like I can be so aggressive that I'm like, I will offend people, and I don't want that. I don't want that because it's really not that necessary to like make a video like that. I feel like I'm just gonna say mean things and I don't mean them, but it's gonna come out of my mouth and then I'll regret it. I actually did film one and I was like, Marissa, you cannot post that. You cannot post that. So, anyway though, love this book so freaking much. Read that. So thankful that I read that. But you can get it on Kindle Unlimited if you didn't know. I also read this one. This is Pucking Speed. This was one I knew I was gonna get the paperback either way, but at the time I was trying to like watch my purchasing. I think the more this is, you know how like people say like the more you think about a book, the more you like it. This is one the more I think about it, the more I hate it. The more I dislike it. I just think the author like really is Emily Rath missed opportunity for real, like really missed opportunity. And so I'm just like so annoyed about it because I'm like, this could have been so good, and just so many things I did not like about it. I'm like, slowly it's starting to become like it's knocking off stars. But I read that, it's off my TBR. So again, 4 out of the 10 KU books. Yeah, a couple of them like again are still on my radar, but like not obviously not priority enough to want to read them. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I posted videos for all of these. I just don't want to go through every single book because would be here all day, girl. Then I did a TBRR, so to be reread for fall. This one I had made literally just because I knew that I wanted to. There were a couple books that I really wanted to reread, and these were books that I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep on my radar for rereads this month. Sorry, this season. But I had made this before I had agreed to like actually stick to them. And so some of them I really could have like swapped and you know, changed, but this is the one I forgot, but I did Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert, reread it, and I said this because I remember saying, like, in a video, like, this reread was worse than the first time. I don't know, it just was, like, not enjoyable to me. I just, like, I don't really like the characters in this one. There's nothing, like, I'm, like, enticed with. I don't know, like they weren't like calling my name, but I reread that. So it was very short, very quick. This one I will just explain myself because I was supposed to reread Iron Flame, but I felt like because Iron Flame is the next book is not coming out for a couple more months, I feel like I could wait, and then if I wanted to reread the whole thing, like start from Fourth Wing, then read Iron Flame, then the other one will be out, but like we'll see about that. I just didn't want to force myself if I knew I wasn't like in the zone. But I also did reread Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I really want to like keep doing it, but we have Spectacular. Spectacular just came out and I'm like, oh no, we're gonna jump to Spectacular. But I love this book. The reread was even better than the first time because the first time I read this was during a 24-hour readathon, and big mistake, don't do that. Because this book you want to like enjoy, you want to cherish, and so I loved that I was able to cherish it and enjoy it the second time around. Loved it so much. I did love it the first time, but like this time I loved it even more, and I was like screaming, dying on the floor. The Naturals I wanted to reread, didn't reread that. Heartless Hunter, that was the same situation where I know that the next one's coming out next year, so I wanted to reread it closer to that. Hooked I wanted to reread, but the same thing with like Spectacular, like Hooked, I like wasn't gonna reread the whole series, and I was like, the new one's coming out, so might as well just wait until the new one comes out and read the new one. Serpents and the Wings of Night, exactly the same thing. Although that one I did wish I reread because I kind of want to like, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna read the next book, but I really wanted to like get into that world and get reacquainted with my old friends here, because that book, I read those a long time ago. Anyway, Court of the Vampire Queen I like started and then like just didn't finish, but then I read Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. I read this early. I read this in August, y'all. That was barely fall. But I love this book so much. This is like, I think that was my third time rereading it, or third time reading it, so rereading it twice. I love this book so much. I think it is so good. Stephanie Meyer is a genius, and I wish that I had like, I wish she just like made all the books, I don't know, in this perspective, because I loved it so much. So want to reread that. I also tried to read Midnight Sun. If you guys saw Tuesday's video, I think I talked about this on my Kindle. I bought it on my Kindle because the book is massive, and then I just like was not in the mood. So anyway, that's everything. I feel like I did pretty good. I think I read 3 out of the 10 books on my reread, so that's not the best odds here, but it's fine. They were rereads, so it's really not that important. It's kind of like whenever I'm in the mood to reread. There are so many new books coming out, or books that I really wanted to read, or books that I was buying, so it's kind of like I didn't even have the time to like reread a book. I don't know what I was thinking. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. There are a couple books that I want to reread for the holidays, because I feel like holidays books you have to read during the holidays, and so I have 2 books that I loved like during the holidays, but I don't know. I definitely won't be making a whole nother list for Christmas, because I feel like unless it's like a Christmas read, there's really not a winter specific genre that I'm into specifically during the winter. I just like to read whatever I want, so we probably won't be doing another one until come spring. Then we'll do a spring one, I think, slash summer, or summer. But this was super fun and fresh. Let me know what books you read off of your fall TBR. How'd you do? I also didn't do like a 24 in 2024 because I only fit like 40 books on my shelf, so I'm like 24, so next year would be 25 out of 40 books. I'm like, ugh, I probably will read them like right away. So I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye, nerds. That was so weird. Bye, nerds.